we actually played Guess the Hexagon early in the season, and to be fair, like, I feel like a lot of my guesses were very similar to the hexagons they put out, and it's not really about the numbers per se, but it does give you a good idea of, like, what player is good at what, you know. Are they a good all-around player? Are they generally looking to be aggressive? Are they generally looking to fight? And like I say, like, maybe the specific numbers don't mean all that much, but I think the general idea of the hexagons is a pretty cool way to see what's up and, get a good idea of what kind of player he is. Now, for example, Zest will never be, like, a 10 on a macro scale, but his micro is impeccable, right? And his macro is still good enough to get by. It's still very good, probably better than most people's. But he has those moments where he slips, and that's something everyone knows about Zest. That's kind of like an extreme example, so obviously you're not going to give Zest a 10 on the macro chart, but yeah, like I say, I think it's kind of good. I actually think they're good. I defend the hexagons. I think they're actually a really cool way of getting to a quick glance of what a player is about, you know? Proxy Rax from TY, going to put that straight up into his natural expansion. He's only going to show us the top half of his face today. As the probe comes into the natural and instantly scouts that. So this turns into a barracks at home. Slightly inefficient build then from TY because it's a super early SCV scout essentially. You lose some minerals on the cancel. So your timings are going to be off, but it's not unplayable because it got cancelled so early. It's not like this was like half a minute deep into Rax production, then you cancel and you have to build a new Rax. So, not the worst case scenario here for TY. He's actually going to turn this into an engineering bay block, which is a pretty cute way to turn it around after after a not so successful start, right? So I can get behind that, just switching this up a little bit. Going into that, it's like I say, kind of cool. I like it. So, just going to be seeing our SCV is just going to end up coming back on home, back into the middle of the map, moving around the right side now. That's going to be seeing our orbital command coming through, our reactor starting up. So TY is going to go for a reactor expansion. Isn't even going to go for the Reaper here. Knows the Reaper might be a little bit late, perhaps, so may just say, well, no point building my Reaper if it's going to show up late. I'm not going to get much done. And at the same time, yes, maybe you're going to get units across the map very quickly here, so let's just get into as much unit production as I can as soon as possible. Like, let's take the risk of the reactor for what it can give me on the follow-up, you know? TY isn't in the military? No, he's going soon. I actually don't know when he leaves. I'm actually kind of intrigued as to what a Freaker are going to do, because the Freaker are going to be missing a player. Once TY and Stats go, they're going to need one more to finish off this season of World Team League, aren't they? I don't know what their plan is currently to work around that or so. So, yeah, kind of interested as to how that pans out. Stats is already gone. Yeah, Stats go. Well, he's not already gone. Stats goes in like 3 days, maybe. So yeah, well, very soon, I suppose. Yeah, Stats goes very soon. Yeah, TY goes next month. Apparently, isn't it? And someone in the chat says so. I don't know the exact dates for TY or anything, but yeah, apparently it goes in June. So yeah, they probably will need someone to help finish this season of the World Team League, right? It's kind of crazy. Africa can go from being one of the most competitive teams in the league to still scary, but nowhere near as scary. His Stalker's actually doing a pretty good job, of course. This is the risk of going for that reactor first, not having the units out right away. Now gets a Widowmine out to help zone this. Of course, problem is as well just Marines with no bunker are always going to be in a little bit of a tough spot in this scenario. The Stalker's getting chased by the Widowmine. Oh, the Marine block is good to get the kill. TY is going to find it. That's amazing. The Marine blocked the Stalker. It got stuck and it couldn't get away from the Widowmine shot. That was an awesome, awesome little play from TY. I mean, he still obviously loses out big time in this, but much better situation than it was at least. At least now, there could have been 3 Stalkers here. Instead, there are just 2. And one of them is super low HP, but he has the Oracle, and I think TY... Is he dead? Cyclone away. Viking's about to be finished, but you're going to take some damage before that is done, so... this really ain't pretty. He is going to maintain his SCVs. Good little repair there. Keeps him in it for a little bit. Woody, do you know if there's an actual schedule of this cup? Can't find any for this one, even on Liquipedia. Yeah, type in !B, and it will take you to the Liquipedia page where it will tell you when every single matchup is. The only thing not in the Wikipedia will be specific games played each week, because obviously each game, or the matches inside of each game, are only decided on a week-by-week basis, you know? The schedule has changed up a little bit. Obviously, we are now going to be not every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday anymore. They have to do some dodging of other events, so stuff will move around a little bit in that regard. So, yeah, definitely do check the schedule and see when World Team League is happening, guys. Okay, the bracket wasn't updated? Oh, you're just adding round 7 to it? Yeah. Makes sense. Sometimes I forget to do that. The marine block wasn't intentional. Even if it wasn't, it's still cool, right? Even if it's accidentally great, it's still great. Okay, so, TY kind of survives what was a very dangerous spot, and now he's going to come across the map. Hecate Industries, shortest rush distance in the map pool. You're going to get across this map quickly. You're going to be able to be very aggressive very early on here. Let's see if you can make something of this as we have the marine tank. It's actually avoided the Stalker army. That is huge. Just gets around the Stalkers. As these Stalkers come through, Marines going down, SCV's being picked away at. Shield battery gets picked off. These few Stalkers in some trouble. No, not like this! Our production has a, a very bright screen for a moment as we are going to be seeing Stalkers at home. We're going to recall home. But the tanks get in position. What was that first volley of tank shots? Oh my goodness. And the probes run back away, so they're going to run back away through tank shots again, taking even more damage here. Here comes the Oracle back home to help defend this. 24 probes down, the Stalkers blink in, and this will be a cleanup eventually, but geez, 24 probes. This counterattack of Patience better have some damage to it. Okay, you forced a lift on the natural initially. You got to do something here. TY is up by 8 workers. You can't just let him get away with that kind of damage. Surely there is no way you let this happen, but maybe you just have no choice. 3cc from TY, so if he survives, he's got that third base ready to go as well, so his economy looks good. I don't think these Stalkers can push through the tank lines. I think the tanks are going to be a little bit too powerful here. My goodness. My goodness, guys. That's a crazy little situation. As TY is going to come with a Banshee now as well. Just one Banshee, no cloak, and it's just going to be undefended bases because the Stalkers are all across the map on the counter. What a time for a little lone Banshee to show on up and just put in some work. Multiple probes going down. 4, 5, 6. I've ran out of fingers already, so I'm going to have to stop there. But fortunately, Banshee will give us a breather. Oh no, the Blink's already used as well. It is actually going to find more kills on this natural. Gets 1, nearly 2. Patience being bullied by the counterattacks, and well, now TY is going to launch another attack on the ground. He's on his way to stim, so upgrades are coming through for him. They'll be done fairly soon. As we have got the Stalkers all the way out down to the south, getting ready to make their play onto this orbital. Oracle coming in, missile turret firing. I mean, that's just going to be a dead Oracle as well, so not much gained there. TY backed it up, he went back home. I mean, he's getting these upgrades very soon, so obviously just didn't want to push before them. Blinks into the siege tank. We'll find a second tank reinforced, and Patience does catch a moment of reprieve, as that was not really meant to go so well for him, but TY just not paying attention that moment. Obviously, the rally tank is a bonus for them for Patience as well. And those aspects of this went, made this a really great success. Spy army still setting up at the moment. Just going to be seeing SCVs. Now Mule's coming through. Marine just going to get lasered down by the Colossus shot. And this bio army of TY is making its way out over to the right. These couple of tanks are going to siege up. And siege, push on forward a little bit further. This Bioforce still just on the way through, getting set up over here. All the tanks start to fire up, a little bit of a storm. Another tank gonna come forward as well. Tank gonna fire, a few units taking some damage. The Raven gonna fire up a shot right there as well. So if you see in TY just really on top of this base, I mean at this stage it's very difficult to break through that position. I mean with the anti-armor missile down, drops a Matrix on one of the Colossi too. Super Battery's gonna keep it alive. Pulling back, just letting the tank do the majority of the work here. And that's kind of just good enough, right, at the end of the day. Letting the tanks do the work and just being kind of sensible about this, not overreacting. Just playing it slow, that's all you need to do in this position on Beckett Industries. It can be difficult to break this position, yes, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really need to, it doesn't need to be, right? Like, it is. But you don't have to break it, because you can just wait until your opponent slowly has to push through, or you just let the slow push work. It's magic, you know? T-Y's going to pull it back. I mean, his supply advantage continues to increase here as this has just been a tale of Patience once upon a time had a lead, and he just never saw that ever again. Focus Zealots, Colossi. All pulling back around to the right there. The army of TY around the south side as well. This army just going to settle down out front of the third base, so moving around a little bit. Seeing what's up with these guys. TY up at that 40 supply or so. Post Academy coming through as well, so just still building that up. We got our 2-2 upgrades on the way in. Ship weapons about to be finishing here as well. So just getting that ship weapons underway with this as we continue on through. Army of TY now set up across 4 bases as well. Obviously his base count's just been growing throughout all of this. And yeah, guys. 2 disruptors continue to produce anti-armor missile, gonna clip the edge of that army. And here comes TY, continuing to advance on forward now, getting those tanks sieged up and into position. Well, Viking shots going out onto a Phoenix initially as well. This Marauder's going to stay on in. And anti-armor missile. Oh, that's a bad super battery. And what does that battery even save, right? Like, those units did not look for a fight. They did not look for a pickoff. They were absolutely looking to kill the battery, not much else. Maybe you could argue you were afraid they were just trying to make a unit pick, but it just feels like you give up the super battery for no reason, and TY is going to make his way in again. These consistent anti-armor missiles. How many spellcasts have we had out of the Ravens this game? A lot is the answer, and when you take a lot of spellcasts off a Raven, you're generally probably not going to have a good time. The efficiency that gives the Terran player, the utility it gives the Terran player over and over again, they take advantage of that. You're just never going to be in a good spot from there. Disruptor shot actually hits the Stalkers more so than the Terran units. And with 10 probes going down, bases falling, TY's position in this game just continues to improve because Patience just has nothing going his way. Now Vikings are going to shoot down one of the Colossi. The other one's going to go down well before the Vikings are done for here. It kind of looks as though the Disruptors don't have shots available, and Patience starts to push TY back, but only because TY's also got an army on the right side pushing in. The Afrika Freaks will take the 2-1 lead in this best of 7, and they get the lead for the first time today as Patience had every opportunity to close this game out. And his map pick, it's Romanticide, and this game does get started. Into Romanticide we go. In the bottom right, we're going to see our red Protoss player. This is going to be Patience. Top left is TY, our blue Terran player from the Freaks. Oof, sorry, that's my BNet making sounds. I don't usually have this issue because my BNet obviously usually I'm in-game on Starcraft 2, so usually I don't get like BattleNet sounds pinging around. So apologies for that little bit of BattleNet audio. That one's on me. I try to turn it off and I just can't. And you know what it is? I only have one person on my BattleNet friends that makes that sound as well, and I don't know why they do it. I think I've got them set as like super friend or something, or best friend. And so every time they log in, it's like ding. What? It's not really a ding, is it? It's like a what? Kind of a ding, I suppose. Kind of a ding. Probe heads out across to the upper left-hand side. It's going to be that proxied Rax down on the third base. So TY failed to proxy last game. He's going to proxy this game with the Rax getting away just in that third, and Patience does not find it. He will start up a Zealot because he's not sure what this is with the Scout. So he'll start the Zealot. We'll see if he wants to complete that. Some people don't let the Zealot finish when they see it's a Reaper-based opening. They just sort of say, whatever. He'll buy a bit of time, but I don't need to spend those minerals. What is good about the Zealot is if you shut down that bunker. If that bunker goes up, it's much more annoying, right? So the Zealot pretty much is a guaranteed shutdown on the bunker. Oh, this is a Tech Lab into the main now. So Reaper into Tech Lab, Marauders in the main. That's kind of cute, because who thinks you're going to build Marauders in the main base after the initial Reaper proxy? Not me, let me tell you that much. Not me. That's actually a crazy play. It's actually a crazy play. Okay, well, I kind of like it. I mean, Reaper at the front as well in the bunker is going to be extremely annoying to deal with. It's just going to take up a bit of time. Pylon does block the add-on for the Terran player across the map, so the fact you can't build the add-on without relocating, oftentimes you don't want to do that, so he'll build the Hellion initially. It's not actually so bad, because in this scenario, you're not actually going to have that much gas free anyway, because you're going to be playing the Marauders, so definitely not the worst case scenario here. The firing, Stalker firing back, bit of back and forth over there, just going to be seeing the SCV, still trying to repair that bunker up, jumps into the bunker. And here we go, Marauders are going to make themselves known as the probe comes to the corner to build up a pylon, and all of a sudden you've got two Marauders in your main base. You don't actually have any battery or defensive setup here. An Oracle on the way. I mean, the thing is, if you bring the Stalker from the low ground, these Marauders are going to go Stalker hunting. Third Marauder shows up. The first Stalker's taking a beating. Now the other Stalker taking some hits as well. If both these Stalkers survive, then Patience might just grasp a defense out of this, and I think he does. But then you've still got the Reaper on the low ground. Super Battery has to pop over here to keep that Reaper away from dealing too much more damage. Now he goes into the main base, where some of the units will be weaker from the initial Marauder hit. Let's see if that Reaper gets anything else done. Marauder's still building as well over in the corner of the main. TY just a bit all over Patience bases. He's only just now going to expand, though. As a Medivac shows up, completely empty, he's going to at the same time run by into the natural, so it's a fake out with the Medivac to draw units out of position. And in we go for some probe kills as TY, the master of deception. 7 probes killed off here already. He's going to get rid of those 7 workers right away. Now this Marauder moves into this main mineral line. A few of these probes going to take a good few shots. And this Oracle just going to sit out overhead. Just watching. It has no energy to utilize, so the Phoenix comes in for the lift. That's 9 probes killed overall from this flurry of aggression as TY still down a lot of army supply, mind you. Remember, his CC is so late that you need a lot of this damage to be able to be successful in this scenario, so you're kind of holding out for a lot of that. Just going to see that barracks flying away. Phoenix are going to come down and chase it. And double expand in the end. I mean, third CC on the way up makes sense. I think in this scenario, trying to just play the economy and get a defensive set of units up. He's actually going Macfield Accelerator on the Cyclones for now, so that's going to be Macfield on the Cyclones. That's interesting, because especially against the Phoenix, the Macfield doesn't really do much, as he's... Oh my goodness, he's very nearly got an additional probe kill right at the end there, but he does get 3 more of those last couple Hellions. CC going to move down toward the natural, Cyclones, and a Viking defensively. Revelation going to reveal that Tech Lab upgrading for the factory, and I think that's the one thing you really assume is Cyclone upgrade, right? I see a gateway going down from Patience proxied, so he wants to get aggressive. He wants to bring this army across the map and into a fight, so he's going to get into a fight now. He's going to really look to press the issue. Honestly, I mean, the Cyclones, maybe not the best against this Phoenix count, right? If they can get... the lifts, so cancel the lock-ons, I mean, that was a bad play. He dove in for the lifts, but the Cyclones moved back and the Vikings were there. The thing is, if you're forcing the Cyclones to kite back and they're locked onto the Stalkers, you can then save the Stalkers, and then the ground army can generally do that little bit better, you know? There you go, Vikings and Cyclones starting to fight. Oracle, Phoenix taking some damage. Stalker's going to start moving up this ramp. Pushing on in, this is what I mean. Some of these Cyclones get lifted. And then what do you really do about it? Problem is now the Phoenix are all gone. It's just Stalkers, and I think TY will get a defense out of this in the end. Glaives on the way up from Patience is his next tech choice. I don't like that in the slightest, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Glaives is good. I mean, I guess Glaives are better than Stalkers against the Cyclones, maybe? I mean, once you have Blink, the Stalkers can blink on Cyclones and obviously shut them down and just jump on them, right? So then they can't be kited so much, but... TY's supply going to be lacking 8 workers down. He loses 9 SCVs on this defense. Patience still working around the front. Try and make something happen with this. Things get shut down again. I mean, the Adept Shade on into this again. They're going to be pretty tanky, to be fair. And it does maybe give the Stalkers a chance to deal damage without being shot down so quickly by the Cyclone and Vikings, which all have bonus damage to the Stalkers at this stage. So yeah, maybe I don't hate the Glaives as much as I don't even know if I hated the Glaives. I just wasn't sure about it. But the more I look at it, the more, I mean, you just don't see this scenario a lot, right? So how do you really judge Adepts in this situation? I think they're going to be okay. Are they going to be enough to close this game out? Not sure. Of course, we do have the third Nexus is going to be coming in soon from Patience. You can see the probe in position there, so he's thinking about it. He's ready to place it down if he feels like he needs to. For the moment, he'll just shade Adepts by. It's a hell of a lot of Adepts. They do have Glaives, and they're going to jump onto the Cyclones, which are going to instantly lift up into the Medevac. Tanks high ground, though. They're going to create a bit of a defense. Phoenix is going to lift up one of these. Takes one of the tanks out of the situation, or the equation at least. And now, the Adepts left to do a bit more damage. Get 6 SCVs with this attack in. What a scrappy little game we've got on our hands. There's multiple racks on the way up here from TY as he sets himself up for the next stage of this. Saying, hey, right, let's get into this bags production. Let's get ready for this bio army. Let's finally transition out of just defensive tank, Cyclone, Viking production. Depths are going to shade in here. They're going to jump on SCVs, Vikings, Cyclones that were all just in there. And going to take a bunch of damage off this siege tank. Will now go for the tank kill. Will get it. Decides to back it up a little bit instead of continuing through. The high ground siege tank obviously can deal a lot of damage. The Cyclones get some lock-ons as well. Adepts do get out of there. Another 4 SCVs going down. Patience just trying to keep that economy of TY manageable, right? When there's 3 CCs pumping SCVs, you can't just let TY run away with the eco. Now going to see a Dark Shrine starting, but just as that starts, a Raven is on the way. So actually, that's maybe not going to be quite so brilliant. Another lift on this siege tank is actually going to get the first tank kill here. That's a hell of a lot of Adepts right now, my friends. This next tank's going to get dropped down, and he should be able to target fire it with the high ground vision the Stalker's just provided. Is there another siege tank or so? I think that was it, right? I think that's all the splash. One new one just showed up. Another play by Patience getting 13 SCVs, costs him a ton of, well, cheap Adepts, right, is what you've got to remember. These units are cheap, they're easy to come by, they're easy to rebuild. So there are positives to this, for sure. There are absolutely positives to this, as those Adepts are going to go shading in once again. I'm just going to go jumping through onto this. Chasing down a whole bunch of these SCVs, so SCVs are in a little bit of trouble as well. Gonna put a bit more damage out. Cyclones gonna pull it back a little bit themselves here. And looks like the game might actually get a little bit of an opportunity to properly calm down here. If we can believe that. Additional Marines is gonna load up, and as that Dark Shrine, not just gonna be for DTs, but blink DTs. I love it. Patience has no splash damage on the map, and he's just like, you know what? Blink DTs. That's what I need to spend my gas on right now. That's what I need to tech into at this moment of time. Blink Dark Templar. Yes! That's kind of crazy as this DT does get shot down by the Cyclones. And then go the Adepts up in toward the natural expansion. Marine's going to unload, and quite a few of these SCVs continuing to go down. I mean, at least TY's getting a chance to put some damage on the map as well. He is down quite a lot of probes, actually, or SCVs. He's down 34 to 54. So we're kind of finally is massively in Patience's favor. But the army supply is in TY's. DT's obviously shown themselves defensively here. Would have been seen by the drop anyway. I have no idea what these DTs are going to get up to, man. The Raven is so clutch from TY, because in a game like this, you didn't necessarily have to build the Raven, but the fact he does is pretty amazing. You know? That's pretty incredible. Bio Army's done to move out the front. And those two Cyclones and the Raven moving back and around a little bit. Just gonna see all these units coming up from TY. In the main base, Combat Shield is gonna be finishing shortly. And those DTs are just gonna go blinking out over to that far left-hand side of the map at the moment. So, blinking those out, getting those going. Adepts is going to shade on in, trying to jump on a group of units there. Medevac in the main base, going to get shot at a little bit, is going to go down, so Medevac will fall. Scanning into that main base again. A lot of Marines going to go out on the left side. Is just going to be having that Bioforce. Going to be under attack. A depth shade by this army, which is walking past. Oh my goodness. I mean, there's just no defense on this fourth base. So Patience is going to lose out over here. He's going to recall his army down to deal with this. I don't even know if I like his army. It's DTs as well. Oh no. Oh, they do a lot of damage very quickly. Holy crap. His army is literally pure DT. But you know what the issue with pure DT is, guys? It's one unit. It's the Raven. Like, goodness gracious. He is keeping T1-2 bases still, unable to expand out of here. This might just be one of the most ridiculous TvPs we have ever cast. This is actually just complete bonkers, right? That is truly just bonkers. It's just going to be seeing the rest of... Oh my god. Oh my god, why are there 21 Dog Templar running at TY's natural? Well, the Raven ain't there, as we're just going to be seeing the DTs going in. Obviously, no recall available for the DTs. Are we going to end up base trading DTs versus this Bioforce? Man, the Raven is just the critical part of this. If there was no Raven, the DTs could force the Orbals to lift, all of that. If you could just kill the Raven, this game would actually probably be won by Patience, but he can't kill the freaking Raven. He doesn't even have Blink if he was to build Stalkers, right? Like, there's just no way for him to kill that. They're out in this main base, just going to be seeing the DTs pulling back. Anti-armor missile goes onto the DTs as well. Patience still actually has more supply than TY. It's just holding Dark Templar. What if he made Archons? They just get kited, right? That's the issue with the Archons. Well, what if he just made a couple Archons? Yeah, I don't know. I've got no idea how this is meant to play out at this stage. Who the hell has this amount of Dark Templar in a game at this point? Oh, absolutely brilliant. The World Team League bringing out the best Starcraft you can have. GTs, they want to just go for it, right? They just want to go blink in. He's going to split up a little bit. Anti-arm missile blinked away from, so made some energy out of the Raven at least. Patience expanding in the bottom left-hand side. TY is looking as though he's going to find a new base to establish on. He's going to try and wall in with racks and everything, so... Oh my god, the DT's of Patience just going to go across the map and deal some damage. The orbitals being able to land is obviously a big deal, just in case somehow the Raven dies. And TY instantly builds a Ghost Academy. I love that decision because EMPs on those Dark Temple are basically just going to kill off... It's basically guaranteed kills on them at that stage. It's pretty much guaranteed kills. This might be one of the biggest clan fiestas we've ever seen in Korean StarCraft 2. Right? I think this might be the biggest clan fiesta we've ever cast in a Korean game. Like, you know what? And sometimes in Europe, we get some absolutely ridiculous situations. In Korea, these guys tend to keep it pretty normal. Until Patience takes to the stage, apparently. I think this game's over. I don't think you can do anything with the DTs. Liberator's building as well. Cloak for the Ghosts. Everything you're doing here makes so much sense as TUI. Like, everything you're building just is the perfect choice, I would say. I don't know if you meant to have Cloak other than enhanced shockwaves. I wonder if he just wants to send some Cloak Ghosts on the map. Harassing, because then he's assuming there's no detection available for Patience. Obviously, the Liberators can do well as well. There's just not really any anti-air. I mean, you can morph in an Archon, so that is a possibility. Yeah, Liberator's already sieging up base. And I mean, what, you're gonna have to morph in Archons just to shut down the Liberators. All these decisions are right. Okay, there's actually a few Stalkers here, so they will get rid of the initial Liberator. Patience wasn't mining, right? He got these bases up, so he's just gonna go and hunt down those libs. He was able to build Stalkers against this. Linking in over here, Stalkers again, just looking to... Well, the libs go down, so a lot of mine time lost. As he got a turret building over on this position. Again, TY just has a fortress of units and structures here. As he's actually just going to stim on down to this bottom left-hand side. DTs with... I mean, now the Ghosts are here. What the hell are you going to do against the DTs? Oh, with the DTs. Against the DTs, you're going to EMP them and have the time of your life. These DTs want to make a play. They want to try and jump in on top, but oh my god, the Widowmine connects! Oh no, this wasn't good. The Sim City just meant that the DTs couldn't get a clean blink in, and they do blink in and they do okay. It's just you lose so many in the process, and Patience has 22 army supply left against 68. Oh man, that Raven, honestly, if the Raven wasn't here, you could have stopped the orbitals from landing, and you could have just killed everything because there would have been no detection. The Raven was such an MVP of this game. It was essential, completely necessary, 100% needed. That's actually crazy. What a game. What a game of StarCraft 2. The Clown Fiesta of the year. Do you think it's fair to give it that title, guys? Clown Fiesta of the year? I think it's a fairly reasonable title, you know? I don't hate it. Oh man. DT is going to move their way into this Bioforce again, just going to realize they can't do much. He's lost all of his probes, he's got one base left. And all TY has to do is move across and go and kill it, basically, and Patience is going to be kind of dead. Well, Patience got the natural as well, right? So, like his original, his OG natural EMP. Uh-oh, DT's got to blink out of trouble. Nexus cancel here, TUI again, just... Man, what a series this turned out to be. Who knew the Afrika Freaks against Good Game Gaming was going to be such a complete mess. All the turrets going down, these DTs continue to fall, and I do think, my friends, we have maybe found the end of this game. Stalkers are blinking. But it's 18 army supply against 54. He needed this blink and these stalkers like 3, 4, 5 minutes ago so he could kill the Raven. Oh my god, one absolute fiesta. Freaka Freaks are gonna get it.